Oh.
Yes, I remember. He said it was munch.
He's got the munchies.
Oh, I do. No matter how the rules may change, I'm seeing this through to the end. If our guess is correct and we have arrived at Morgana's past, then we need to uncover the truth behind those, or rather, the men's circumstances. What they felt, what drove them. My gut tells me there's something to be found there that even Morgana doesn't know. I could be wrong, and it's possible that even if I am right, what we find won't do anything to quell her hatred. But we won't be talking her out of it, that's for sure. Words won't break through that kind of animosity. We need something bigger. Something she could never have imagined. Something that will turn her entire worldview on its head.
The white-haired girl might be a good place to start. She showed up at the mansion again and again, as though led there by some supernatural force. And she was involved with all three men in some way. I can't think of anyone else with such deep ties to both the mansion and the men. But at the same time, I have a hard time convincing myself that the Morgana we know and the white-haired girl could be the same person.
They're about as different as two people can be. Which actually leads me to believe there's something there.
There must be something. Some secret we haven't figured out yet that we can use. So let's find it.
It won't be easy.
If we are in the past, though, I wonder, maybe we could change it. And I don't know, Giselle, that usually doesn't end too well.
Yeah, especially not in the state you're in right now.
Yeah. This could be a huge chance for us.
Change the past.
Yeah, we could prevent Morgana's death. Or we could stop whatever led them down this path.
There's an idea. If it's actually possible, maybe we can do something. The question is this world really...
I'm getting kind of pumped. I mean, honestly, at best, this would end with you two dying.
Oh!
Because, I mean, technically, even though she used them and did a lot of horrible shit, she did kind of save them.
Yeah, that's true.
Without them, without her, both of them would have been killed by knights. Now I'm getting kind of pumped. I've got my game face on and I'm ready to do this.
It doesn't do much good if no one can see it.
It's a figure of speech. Okay, first things first. We need to find the mansion. Morgana should be at the top of the observation tower. And the three men shouldn't be too far off either. So the question is, where are we?
Do you recognize the surroundings at all? I never really left the mansion, so I'm not especially familiar with the lay of the...
Give me a little spin, would you?
As she requests, I slowly spin around in a circle, and through the dense woods I spot a cluster of what appears to be stone formations. Squinting to get a better look, I realize they're buildings. It's decently far off, but it appears to be the edge of a city.
I think that might be the village I stayed at for a while.
It's a bit big for a village.
Don't you remember what Amity said about the village's history?
Amity. That bastard.
Michelle, you didn't think something uncharacteristically vulgar just now, did you?
Amity!
That bastard!
Wouldn't dream of it.
Hmm.
Yes, I remember. He said it was munch.
He's got the munchies.
Oh, I do. He said it was once much larger, and that it was destroyed in a single week by the witch's curse. Except rather than a curse, it was probably disease. If that's the same city, then it fits with what Morgana had said happened.
I believe he also said something about there being a large bridge on the outskirts of the city, and that following the path from there would lead to the mansion. So, let's head down to the city.
Alright.
You don't sound very enthusiastic. Are you nervous you might have to talk to someone? Don't worry, you've got me here.
Don't treat me like I'm antisocial.
You're a little... You're not?
Yeah. No, that's not what's bothering me. It's something about this whole thing feels off. This world we're in.
Hmm?
Never mind. I'm probably overthinking things, but now's not the time for that. We need to... Let's go. Rather than waste time fighting over details, we need to get to the mansion like she said. Everything else comes after that. With each step, I can feel the earth compressing beneath my feet, the grass flattening. As I weave my way through the trees toward the city, the sensation of having a living, flesh and blood body slowly returns. Oh!
Oh!
I thought that was Javi at first.
Oh. May- maybe then that one line sticker is Mel, which kind of makes it more hilarious to me.
Oh,
The one where he's just rocking back and forth.
Oh, you have to send it to me. I don't think I've seen that. Uh.
Uh,
Oh. A white-haired man just appeared out of nowhere. Huh? And he's talking to himself. I gotta get away before he does something. Hold it right there, Mel. You don't get to call me crazy and then just run off. How do you know my name? Oh my god. He hates Mel. That's so funny. Especially after the whole sticking your hand in the rose bush thing.
yeah.
How? Why wouldn't I? We were just in the mansion together. Huh? Mansion? What are you talking about? Right, he hasn't become the shadow in the mansion yet. I doubt I would forget seeing someone as unusual as you. Who are you? And where did you come from? Where? I'd like to know that myself.
Michelle.
Good job, Michelle!
Michelle! Say something, Michelle! He's not getting any less suspicious of you. You have to come up with some way to break the tension.
Improvisation isn't exactly my strong suit. Oh, I am God.
Oh man. I'm
Oh
so
my God.
tempted. I'm so tempted. But
You want to?
would that like screw things up?
I don't know.
Oh man.
Would it make him harder to talk to if we choose God? Because then he'd be like, "You're crazy."
Probably. That's what I'm thinking.
I want to so bad. Warm.
Oh, you're so right, Warm. Oh man. Do you know if this is an option that will like negatively affect things? Because I want to so badly.
The music is so good. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Selene. Wanna go find God then?
It changes how Mel reacts, but nothing huge. Just affects this conversation.
Okay.
Okay, let's go for it.
His expression.
Look at Michelle!
Michelle, even I wouldn't believe you if you told me that.
I already regret it. You're one of those pagan missionaries, aren't you? Here to spread the word of some other new god. And now he thinks I'm loony. His face! Oh my god! I love Michelle.
I love him so much.
I should get going. Hold on. You can't leave until I've made a better impression.
Michelle!
He just tells him. Oh my god. My parents raised me not to talk to scary people like you.
Oh, the ones who threw you out? I'm with you on that one, Mr. and Mrs. Rhodes.
Just, God, this is a disaster. I was joking. I didn't actually mean I was God. Stop looking at me like I'm mad.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he would be in the right to at this point.
Yeah. That still doesn't explain how you knew my name. Have you been stalking me? Why would anyone follow you around? His face, he hates Mel. It was all a coincidence. You look a lot like an acquaintance of mine. So imagine my surprise when it turns out you have the same name as him. Okay, we'll go with that for now. You would probably trust a bear before me at this point. Anyway, it would seem like Morgana's. I'm the only one who can hear Giselle's voice. Regardless, you wouldn't have any luck converting anyone here anyway. Again, I'm not... Wait, hold on. Why do you say that? Everyone around here worships the Saintess. Sometimes I think she's got more followers than God the Father himself. She's practically her own religious figure. The Saintess? You've never heard of her? She's a nun down at the church. Everyone calls her the Saintess. So he's not talking about Morgana. No, actually, I have heard tales of her. I would be surprised if you hadn't. Anyway, in a few days, we're going to hold a festival at the church to celebrate the spring harvest. So while that's going on, I don't think you'll have much luck. What the hell is that word?
I think it's
proselytizing?
Prophesizing or, trying to convert people.
Oh. Proselytite. Eh. I'm forever doomed to be a missionary in his mind now, aren't I? When exactly is this harvest festival? In 3 days. You should stick around for it. 3 days. Morgana died when the bell tolled noon on the day of the festival, which means she's got that much time left. This will be the first time we've held the festival, so everyone's excited to make it into a big event. Something really And a young girl is dying behind the scenes of this seemingly pleasant celebration.
If her death is in 3 days from now, that might give us enough time to do something about it.
Is it like Majora's Mask, where we can, return to the beginning?
Look up, where's the moon? Moon, where are you?
Moon! Could I ask you to show me the way to the church? I would like to join in on the festivity. Sure, yeah. Of course. The church's doors are open to all, friends and family and heathen missionaries alike. It's not...
Hello, Memitin. Yeah,
it's a good game.
It's a great game. Though for the longest time we were categorizing it under its prequel since it's under its Japanese name, and I didn't know that.
No way.
Yep.
Oh my god. It's not far, follow me. Thank you. didn't occur to me until now, but this really is a strange experience. This is a boy from a completely different time period who I have never had the opportunity to meet. If he's here, then presumably the other two are as well. Which means Morgana's wish for their reconstruction was already granted. This Mell doesn't seem like any different a person than the one I observed at the first door. Yet he played a part in Morgana's imprisonment. I have trouble believing he would voluntarily involve himself.
I mean, I'm gonna guess Yukimasa threatened him.
Yeah.
I was scared for a minute there. That could have gone a lot worse. Well, maybe
It
not a
did.
lot worse, but it could have gone worse. Plus, we managed to make contact with Mell in record time.
She's interacted with him and the others before, so I guess it doesn't feel as strange to me.
You don't want to hear... You don't want him to hear you talking to yourself again. That's why you're not saying anything to me, isn't it?
Actually, I think I can talk to you without speaking. Can you hear me?
How are you doing that? Yeah, at times, like especially during the very intense moments, I don't want to. We don't want to like really drop it, but in the more comical moments like this, it's not too bad to interact with folks.
Yeah. I have a lot of experience talking to ghosts.
That really drives home how bizarre things were for you in that mansion.
Were you not in similar circumstances when it was you and Morgana?
Yeah, now that you mention it. What a bizarre time we've both had in that mansion.
I love how she can just say that. Oh, what a crazy ride that was, huh, Michelle?
Yeah, all water under the bridge.
You're just not realizing this. So, what's your impression of him?
My impression that he's the same Mell as always.
In a little more detail?
He's an amicable young man. Nice enough to show a complete stranger around.
I agree. In Morgana's version of the story, he betrayed her. But he doesn't seem like the kind of person who would enthusiastically do something so much.
He had to have had some reason.
And we need to figure out what that was. The question is, how do we go about it? We hardly have enough time to earn his trust and convince him to tell us himself. I'll just have to put the knowledge I already have to good use.
Oh, that reminds me.
Something that might explain it.
No, about Morgana. When you were alive, she was always right there with you, like I am now, right?
Whenever it struck her fancy, yes. She didn't seem to care when or where. She would just start talking whenever she felt like it.
Whenever.
For the most part, yes, anytime she wanted. Giselle?
You don't have to worry about that with me. I know when to keep my mouth shut, promise.
What?
You said you feel like you're alive again, right?
My 5 senses all seem to be in working order.
Which means you'll also be getting hungry, tired, sleepy, and you'll, you'll have to go to the bathroom. I'll be polite and close my eyes and plug my ears while you're doing it.
Thanks? What would possess her to bring that up? Does she even realize what she's saying?
Oh gosh, now I'm red as a tomato.
That answers that. Moving right along, we need to discuss how we're going to go about this.
Right, that!
The Harvest Festival is our deadline, which doesn't give us very much time. We need a plan for when we arrive at the mansion.
How about we spill their secret? Tell everyone about the girl they've got locked up in the tower and force them to set her free. That won't backfire horribly. Surely they wouldn't stand for that.
Perhaps, but would anyone believe me? If I walked in and said I came from the future and that I know what's going to happen, would anyone actually buy that?
Sure, with enough convincing. I mean, people have always believed us all our lives, right?
Yeah. Even if I did manage to convince them the tower door was locked in Morgana's rendition of the... You need 3 keys to get inside. Mell should have one of them, but stealing his alone won't be enough to get into the tower.
True.
If Giselle is right and we can save Morgana and change the future, then that would indeed solve everything. But something about this whole situation still doesn't sit right with me. I have to do more than just set her free of that tower. I have to find the truth as well, as I initially set out to do. Regardless, I would like to try and stay on everyone's good side as much as possible for now.
Great start with Mel. Okay. I'll do whatever I can to help.
I appreciate it. I mean, as you know, conversation is not exactly my strong suit.
Which means it's my job to hit the brakes whenever you say something stupid.
It's a bit too late if I've already said it.
Anyway, step 1 is to get ourselves into the mansion. We can't hope to make contact with the 2 other men, much less get Morgana out of there, if we're not staying nearby.
I'll do what I can.
I can just imagine, like, as they're following Mel, Michelle's just muttering to himself, and Mel's just trying so hard to ignore him.
Just, like, looking away.
Pointedly, I'm not hearing this. I can't get involved if I'm not hearing this.
We're almost there. See the big building in the distance? That's the church. It is the same mansion as I suspected.
Seeing it now, knowing what horrible things happened there, is so disheartening.
Are happening as we speak. In the tower we see in the distance. Morgana's locked up all alone.
Well, we do a lot of things. We are a 3-person group. Right now, one of our hosts is on hiatus since she has family visiting. But usually she does more adventure action-oriented games. Right now, she has We Happy Few and the 3rd Tomb Raider game going on. But, like, we don't usually stick to a specific genre. We play a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Konetsu and I have been focusing on this game for quite a while now, and I also play Darkest Dungeons on Mondays with another friend. I wish we could just march in there and set her free.
If getting into the tower were our only goal, we could probably force our way in with a little work. Is something the matter? Mell. I could probably overpower him and get his key. Hello? But the other 2, that almost certainly wouldn't work. Can you hear me? Oh, yes, sorry, I was lost in thought. Seems kind of strange, doesn't it? What does? I mean, it doesn't look much like a church. At a glance, you'd think it was some noble's estate. So it does. I spent so long there, it never even occurred to me. I was pretty surprised when I first saw it myself. A peculiar place, all told. There's a chapel inside the mansion with this gorgeous stained glass window. It's quite the sight. Do you know why it was built like that? I'm, not actually sure myself, no. Anyway, I'll show you to the chapel. The saintess should be there too, so I can introduce you. Alright. On our way to the mansion, we pass through a courtyard of sorts. When I lived here, the area was overgrown with weeds. Apparently they keep it in better condition in this era. Following Mel's lead, we head through the chapel and... Oh my. I'm at a loss for words when I see what lies on the other side of those all too familiar doors. While it was barely recognizable as a place of worship in my memory, just 2 columns of battered pews and some piles of rubble, the room I'm looking at now is unequivocally a chapel.
So this is what it used to look like.
I wonder how far back this is from when we lived.
It has to be more than a decade or two. Maybe 100 years. Or more.
The views and beliefs about the world prevalent in our time are not so different than those of this. Perhaps the chapel was destroyed in the aftermath of the Harvest Festival. When I was first sent to the mansion, there were signs that repairs had been attempted.
The stained glass window is behind the pulpit, I'm guessing, though we can't see it from here.
And right next to it is the door to the observation tower. Ah, there she is. There's no priest here. She runs the church. You'll want to talk to her first if you're planning to participate in the Harvest Festival. I'll go fetch her for you. Whisking his way between the pews, the boy disappears into the back of the chapel, returning with a nun in tow. When I see her, my face twists for a brief... Good afternoon. You came to see the festival, I hear. It's wonderful to have...
Is that who I think it is?
I'm all but certain at this point that all the major players from behind those 3 doors are present here. Not just the 3 men whose shadows remain in the mansion, but also the women who are important parts of their lives. Though dressed differently, the way she speaks and the way she holds herself resembles the woman killed by her lover behind the second. By the beast!
They're all connected. What we thought were 3 separate tales, all stretched back to a single point in time before our own.
Is there something the matter? No, I was just thinking how unusual it is for one nun to be managing an entire church all by herself. Ah, yes, that's the usual reaction from new visitors. Even I think this assignment is a bit over my head. Assignment? Well, I was at another church before this one. A smaller building, and I wasn't the only. But the lord of the land ordered me to transfer to a new, larger church he was opening. So here I am. The Lord. There's plenty of space on the property, more than enough to provide shelter for orphan children and aid for this. It seems rather vacant from what I've seen. Yes, about that. We used to take people in, but circumstances have made that difficult of late. What kind of circumstances? That's not something I can discuss with an outsider, sorry. I'm guessing it has to do with Morgana's imprisonment here.
Do you think she knows about Morgana?
I would guess not. The men swore to keep it between the 3 of them.
So she's being forced to oversee the mansion, completely oblivious of what's happening here.
Which isn't to say she's not connected to it in some way. If she's the girl from the second tale, then she should be close with... Is something troubling you? Ah, no, my apologies. I got lost in thought. You don't look it, but you're actually a bit of a daydreamer, aren't you? Daydreamer?
Mell would fit that description much better.
Mell would fit that description much better. What? Why? Do I really look like that much of an airhead? Oh, I can see that. Someone has to watch out for him, or he's likely to lose his head in the clouds. I really don't think I'm that spacey. I'm not trying to say you're spacey. I just feel like I've got to keep one eye on you at all times. It's a lot like what I imagine having a little brother would be like. I am an oldest child, you know. What's the big deal? You don't want a big sister? Well, I want you to be my little brother. I don't want to be just a capital S sister to you. That's so stiff and formal. No, I want to be your sister.
This is a lot like the interactions between her and Javi.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of like, huh. Maybe Javi was like a reincarnation of Mell?
Maybe. But he was so different from Mel.
That's true, he was really mean. I am a little old to be playing make-believe. Oh, come on. They're quite friendly with one another, it would seem. Oh, I know. Why don't you become her brother then? What? This is awkward. Oh god! Pauline, no!
Do
I
it.
will
Maybe he can finally have a nice sibling.
not. Besides, I'm clearly the oldest one here. Why not? I don't think it matters who's older than who. You don't really act all that old anyway. You're like a 14-year-old boy. I have at least 10 years on you.
You're the youngest. Your youngest child's insecurities showing.
Insecurity? You two are pretty good friends, huh? We can discuss the veracity of that claim later. I would like to ask you a favor. What is it? I'll gladly help with anything I can. Could I perhaps borrow a room until the day of the Harvest Festival? I don't have anywhere to stay, or a source of income for that matter. I know I'd be taking advantage of your generosity, but I only mean to intrude for a few days. I would be more than happy to offer you a place to stay at any other time. But right now, I can't let you stay here. I'm so sorry. Well, damn, so much for that. Well, I'm going to my room.
Don't let one little no stop you. Keep pushing. Put on a show. Earn her sympathy. She's a lady of the cloth. If you make her feel bad for you, she'll offer you her aid.
Put on a show? You expect me to act?
No.
I'm having another episode. And I was so sure this church would be able to help.
That's not gonna convince. I should have not said anything.
Quiet, you. He was perfectly fine on our walk here.
Damn, thrown under the bus.
Shut your mouth, boy. I mean... As I said, we did once offer a place of respite for the ailing in need. But regrettably, for the time being, we are unable to take anyone. What I can do, though, is give you medicine. Since we can't let people stay here, with the Lord's generous assistance, we've been handing out medicine instead.
Ugh.
So all you do here, then, is give people medication? Yes, I suppose that's what it boils down to. I'm honestly not sure why we're not allowed to offer shelter right now, but we are still able to provide assistance to those in need, so... I assume it's just a temporary measure and we'll be able to take people in again before long. And with how much he's done for the church, it's not really my place to complain about his decision. I truly am sorry. I hope you understand. I'm supposed to ask for a tithe in exchange, normally. But just this once, it's yours, free of charge. Could you tell me more about this medicine, please? Does it contain... blood? Oh, it's right there. It's called Saint's Blood, and it'll cure any disease. Saint's Blood. It's not real blood, of course. That's just what it's called. It sure sounds divine, doesn't it? No, that's not true. Huh? It is real blood.
Michelle, maybe not.
Michelle, stop. Stop it! Stop! Giselle!
Oh, Mel's gonna be on to him.
What are you... sorry to butt in. Do you mind if I bring him back to my room so I can kill him? I don't think I mentioned it, but he's an old friend of mine. We've got a lot of catching up to do. Alright. Hey, come on. This way.
Well, that sure got quite the reaction out of him. And now he's incredibly leery of you.
When she mentioned the blood, I couldn't stop myself. I probably should have kept my mouth shut, though. Mel doesn't say a word the entire way. His smile has retreated and there's a hint of fear lurking beneath his now stony expression. I spend the trek through the mansion's corridors, pondering how to answer the questions I know are coming. How to solve the problem I put myself in. We enter a bedroom, presumably his, and he closes the door behind us. I can see the distrust in his eyes as he glares at me.
And with that, we will end the stream right here. Thank you to everyone who came. As usual, it's always so nice to have an audience. And we will be back with the House on Fata Morgana on Tuesday at 9 p.m. EST, provided that nothing else pops up. As always, you can go ahead and check our Twitter, where we always update with everything that we'll be streaming and at what time. Oh, but this is very strange. This is a very strange turn because it's starting to feel more like a sort of adventure story now that we have like this specific goal that we're working towards.
Yeah, and how he said there's no narrator. So does that mean we're gonna have more choices?
Yeah, it seems like it might be the case since like it makes sense that we didn't really have any choices in the past since we were recalling things that had already occurred, but now we're sort of living in the quote unquote present.
Right.
So, we'll see. Until
We
next
shall
time,
see.
everyone.
Bye-bye!
Huh?
Oh, of course.
The door's locked. Damn it.
Boneless.
I've already taken a good look at
hopeless school.
things around here. You sure you want that? It's not worth the price. There's a lot to think about, but for now I should head back to the dining hall and talk to the others.
Is it against the rules to break the doors?
No, and I was gonna say he should just like get Sakura in there and busted it down.
True,
But
like,
that would require thinking and logic.
Yeah. I mean,
No.
Monokuma probably wouldn't like it, but it's not stated anywhere, so
What can he do about it? Like he can
They-
put a rule about it into effect afterwards, but
yeah, but like they could break one door.
yeah.
Was there a rule about destroying like property or something?
I think
Oh,
there
right.
was, but it was specific. Yeah, it was specific to the cameras.
Specific to the cameras?
Let me double check.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They load up on some truth bullets here.
Nighttime.
It's strictly prohibited, as is destruction of surveillance cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, nothing about destroying any other kind of school property, just the surveillance cameras.
So they could destroy one door before Monokuma goes like, "You're not supposed to do that," and afterward.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they could actually break one of the windows or something, that would work too.
Well, all the windows are barred. Like this, I think this like kind of window here probably just leads to some like indoor garden area.